Hello, and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. Today we're going to talk about MoneyGram's projected Q3 earnings, how they compare to Q3 last year, and also we're going to talk a little bit about the Lightning Network user error that caused the user to lose 4 Bitcoins. The Lightning Network thing was actually kind of caused by himself because he didn't follow the instructions, and he basically wiped his own node. But we'll talk about that later. So MoneyGram's projected Q3 earnings for 2019 is actually 2 cents per share. Now, the expected earnings for Q3 last year were 11 cents per share. So analysts are actually predicting year over year it's going to be less than this time last year. However, last year the actual earnings per share was 21 cents when the projected was only 11. For comparison, the projected earnings per share for Western Union is usually like around 40 something. The actual earnings per share is always pretty close. So this quarter, the actual earnings per share for Western Union is going to be somewhere like 45 to 49, most likely. So since generally the earnings per share for Q3 slightly outperform, I'm going to guess MoneyGram's going to get something like 5 cents per share. The predicted is about 2 cents per share, but I'm going to guess it's going to be like something like 5 cents per share, which means it's down significantly from this time last year. Q4's projections are definitely better, and Q1's projection for next year are slightly better. But the projected earnings per share for Q3 do not bode well for MoneyGram. I don't think that really reflects on Ripple and XRP because they only started implementing ODL at the end of Q3, so it hasn't really had that much time to have an effect for Q3. We'll actually see like what Q4 actually says in January or February of next year. That's probably going to be a much more important report, like Q4 of 2019, Q1 of 2020, Q2 of 2020, and so on. If they don't actually start making money again, and they still bleed money afterwards, that means like it didn't really work. You can't really blame Ripple and XRP for that if MoneyGram like continues to go down, because it was going down before Ripple and XRP took over, and Ripple and XRP doesn't guarantee in any way MoneyGram's success, because if they have really bad management, they just have really bad management. It doesn't really matter what software they're using. If you have really bad management, your company's not going to do well. So hopefully we'll see kind of a turnaround for MoneyGram, and we'll see some year-over-year growth rather than year-over-year shrinkage. So the Lightning Network user error was actually caused by the user. So this actually doesn't affect most users, because this essentially happened because the guy who was running was running a routing Bitcoin node for Lightning Network. So most people who use Lightning Network just use it from their wallet, so they're not going to run into this problem at all. So what happened was he had a power outage while he was running the node. Not really sure why he had a power outage, but he had a power outage while he was actually running the Lightning Network node. And what he did, instead of like the usual way of restoring the node from using his secret seed word plus like the backup data from the channel, he actually wiped the entire node and tried to restore it from like a 3-day-old disk drive with some data. And the network actually told him, we can't sync. And then, despite the network warning him, hey, you're doing something stupid, he went ahead and did something more stupid by using the terminal command phase and closing all the payment channels. When you close the payment channels, then the network thought he was trying to do a theft attempt, because his node can't sync because the data is wrong, because he didn't use the right thing to back it up. So he force closed it, and he essentially lost his coins to another node, because since he actually didn't have the right sync and he didn't actually restore it the right way, the network thought he was trying to steal things from other people and actually just gave the coins that were stuck to some other node. So if he actually just did it the right way, he wouldn't have had a problem. And the Lightning Network and node actually informed him several times that it couldn't sync and he's doing something wrong, but he did it anyways. So that's just like a reckless user error more than anything else. They should actually streamline the process more, definitely, to make it easier for users so it doesn't happen again. But I would definitely blame that more on the user. I would definitely blame that a lot more on the user than Lightning Network. I think there are many problems with Lightning Network, but this particular instance was definitely like user error more than anything else. So that is the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.